Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Monday, April 18th of 2016. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so we're in the gibbous phase this Monday, approaching a full moon later in the week on Thursday night, Friday morning. And so it's a time of illumination. I think as we approach the weekend, there'll be more insights. I think we're gaining a lot of momentum from what may have been a more challenging, action-oriented energy from last week. So now it starts to flow a little bit with the sun and moon in a harmonious aspect in this gibbous phase. So as we approach Thursday, Friday, a good time to continue to move forward, see that awareness. There could be a bit of a energy increase, especially because the sun is going to be shifting into Aries as we go through the week. Now, it's probably a bit early in that regards because it does take time for the sun to start to take on that Aries quality, but we're certainly on the cusp, and it is a good time to perhaps start to focus on where we can be more independent in our life, where we can take action, where we can pursue our personal intentions, and all of that sort of stuff. But still, again, right on the cusp between Aries and Pisces, so still it's a watery time, especially with Venus in Pisces still connecting to that present moment and having that acceptance along the life journey. Now, the moon today is going to be finishing up in Leo, entering into Virgo in the evening time. So for most of the day, still a bit of that perhaps expressive energy of Leo, perhaps playful, can be great with the Leo energy, and perhaps wanting to entertain or be entertained here today, I think is a great way of working with it. Now, we do have a lot of important things in the astrology today, as you can see here in the transit graph. We've got Mars, who recently went retrograde yesterday, so we still have this pause, and now this reflection on where we are putting our energy, and is it meaningful? Are the things that we're actually pursuing, do they matter to us? Are they meaningful to us in life? That's been this Mars in Scorpio. So a good time to kind of ease up off the brakes a little bit, perhaps reduce some goals, reduce some intentions, and again, where we've been putting our energy. So that's going to be definitely an effect, and that's going to be going on up and through June, the end of June. Now today, Pluto is going station retrograde in the early part. So it's a bit more collective, but this slowing down now in terms of reflecting on our life changes. What are these life changes that have been unfolding over many years with Pluto and Sagittarius? Okay, and in our own personal life, where can we release attachments? Where's the ego getting involved into specific outcomes of our life that might be getting in the way, right? So reflecting on these life changes of the past 6 months, where can we have more of that letting go? And in that way, release any perhaps attachments and old patterns that might be preventing us from expanding our horizons. So that's going to be the stations. Now, in terms of the aspects today, Venus is going to be trining up to Saturn. So there's a bit of maturity today, perhaps a bit of patience, maybe even some discipline. And this is particularly with our values. Venus is our values in life. It's also our relationships. So we could be feeling quite grounded in our enjoyment of life, in our enjoyment of our interpersonal relationships today, which is quite good, and perhaps even developing and building them in a nice, slow, and steady way. Again, Venus exalted in Pisces right now is that there is this acceptance that can really come through how we relate with others and what we're connecting with. And I think with her trining up to Saturn, that can be very grounding today. Now, the moon's forming another grand trine here today. There's been a lot of these grand trine energies. And so this one's with Mercury and that retrograde Pluto. And these are all in fire signs. So there's a bit of this perhaps direct and passionate ideas with Mercury. It's already been a time of very independent thinking, perhaps fiery thinking and communications. Okay, so I think that's going to be activated here today. Again, perhaps in the more expressive way with the moon in Leo. And then quite powerfully too, perhaps with that trine from Pluto. And the other thing is that it's our emotions involved. All right, so we could be quite direct and passionate with our feelings today, which could, again, be quite strong. Now, the moon is going to go over the north node in the second half of the day, opposed up to that Chiron south node. So it could be an evening of learning. And again, what we're specifically learning about is how to express ourselves in this new way. This new us with the north node shifting into Leo for the first time in 18 years. It's now the time for all of us to rekindle that inner flame, that true inner self, and express who we are and do what we do because it is an expression of who we are. right? So I think it's a great evening for all of those, again, Leo type of qualities. As we go into the evening time with the moon shifting into Virgo, getting closer to that full moon, perhaps starting to reflect on where we can have this continued personal development, continue to cultivate our personal development in life in both a spiritual level and a physical level as well. So the strongest energy of the day, I feel like, is going to be this sort of pause with the masculine energy of Mars and that Plutonic powerful energy reflecting on where we're putting our energy in life and also where we can be more open to change along the life journey. A good support with the interpersonal relationships and values, perhaps in a nice grounded and mature way today. A grand trine could be passionate and expressive, both on a communication level and on an emotional level. And again, with the sun slowly shifting into Aries, perhaps more of this focus on our independence and taking action. All right, so I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.